All right, y'all, today I'm going to be going over my final reflection. This is just my final presentation on things that I did that helped me focus to get where I am today with my interview, and I'll be going over some of the things briefly. All right, so some of the skills and knowledge within the discipline. So the first class that I have was technical writing and design. This class taught me how to do proper writing techniques, such as to help myself prepare for reports, documents, or any presentations that I'll be taking in college. Next was to take complicated ideas and present them in a way that everyone else could understand the format if it was difficult or people didn't know the subject too well. The next one was use a variation of imagery such as graphs or charts to explain a concept. So this was taking data and simply putting it into a chart or graph where everyone could understand it more easily. And some things that I used at my internship that helped me was to type up a daily inventory summary of all the cattle for owner users. This was just a chart where people could see how much cattle they bought, such as the head count, weight, and how much it costs. The next thing I did was I took sale barn recaps and I transformed them into a one-page paper with proper headings. So I had big, nice headings where everyone could see, what sale we went to, where it was, the prices of everything, and it was easy to look at. And then finally, I created a graph with types of order codes that were brought of the cattle that we had. Basically, it was just a graph where you could easily pinpoint how much I bought of each. The next class we have was college algebra. Some things I learned in there was to calculate the profits or losses of a business. Next was to break down a problem first, then find its solution. And finally, the ability to be comfortable around large number amounts or numbers and to key in multiple data by using these numbers. So at my internship, I performed calculations on the prices of cattle. Next, I would take a check, and if the wrong amount was on the money, I had to find the missing numbers to make sure that the check equaled the right amount. And lastly was the ability to key in cattle purchases from each sale barn attended. So I had to use an adding calculator, which I know is old school, but I had to go in there and be familiar with 10 key and make sure I could do that properly at a fast pace. And lastly is speech communications. In this class, I learned the importance of listening to others' needs or thoughts. I next increased confidence in public speaking. And finally, I built relationships with people such as customers by using engaging communication skills. So while I was at Thigpen, I had to listen to customers' needs on what cattle that they wanted. The ability to talk in front of a large group or hold a meeting where I had to get up in front and present some topics. And next was to create new friendships while working with new customers at TLC. Okay, so the next thing we're going over is the skill and knowledge beyond the discipline. So these were just some of the classes. I had a lot of electives that I got to pick, and these are the ones that I thought would be most helpful for me on down the road. So I picked agricultural mechanical services. I had to know knowledge on farm equipment, how to operate tractors or work on them, and understand the common tools used in the agricultural field. So at my internship, I had to know what equipment we needed to be working on, such as when I went outside and I helped them do stuff like on the farm. Next, I had to do the task to move a tractor out of the way so an 18-wheeler could get by. And lastly, be able to go to the hardware store and buy the ratchet that we needed. Some of these simple tasks I know are probably easy for us, everyone in our major, but to everyone else, this could be totally hard for them, but it's good to know these things. The next class I have is animal-related systems. So in this class, I had to identify different cattle breeds for customers, know what feed to feed the cattle or horses, and how to identify veterinary medicine and the purpose of each. So at Thigpen, I had to attend cattle sales, and I could be able to identify the cattle that the customers wanted for us to buy for them. Next, I gave advice to some new ranchers on what to plant for their cattle in order to have a healthy diet. And lastly, I informed customers of what medicine to buy for their animals, such as I had a customer come in, he didn't had a sick heifer, and I told him what medicine to get for her. Lastly, another class that I took was campaign and events. I had to come up with solutions to problems at a short notice, plan events, or present ideas with tasks and goals to achieve, and worked as a team to get goals accomplished. So at the internship, one time the cattle broke out of a fence, and I helped move them back in. Next, I created a new organization plan for the vet medicine room. And lastly, I worked together with my coworkers to help plan the COVID-19 around the company. So the next thing was some global issues involving the agricultural world. So around us, the sale barns that we attended to, some of them were shutting down. So that meant no sellers could attend the sales. Next, the cattle futures market had a large loss, so prices per pound dropped. And lastly, businesses around the shutdown in the agricultural world, it pushed us to work hard and to keep going. And how we powered through at Thigpen, our buyers still attended sales that were still open. Truck drivers drove to pick up cattle from multiple sale barns. Next, workers arrived each day and we continued our daily duties as normal. And then the hands continued to work on cattle and maintain the health of each. So this connecting to my education, by having some classes with Dr. Poe, he once said, again, we find ourselves adapting to the curveballs life throws us at us. And that's exactly how this past semester was. Nothing went the way that we wanted it to, but we still had to push through and get the job done. Next was Mr. Beasley. He always taught us the importance of agriculture and how agricultural is needed in the world, especially in a time that we are in now. We are so needed right now in this world in case of shortages, because we are the front hand people that are on the line that we need to get, crops done and have it shipped to our stores. We continue to working. And then finally, Dr. Ashley told us to shed light on the agricultural world through technology. So basically, just when we get on social media, just to show everyone and educate people on the positive things agricultural does and inform people around the world of what we're doing day to day and how we continue to work hard and we're not stopping, but we still are taking safety precautions.